Imagine one day leaving all you have behind and travel a long way to immerse in a new culture, new food, and new country. Today, we're gonna explore some other new country, new culture, and new way of adapting to the new country we both came in to Canada, right? And but today's story is not going to be about struggle. It's going to be about resilience, hope, and most of all, being unstoppable. Because that's how I see it when people come across all the way from one end of the world to the other and pursue and build themselves from ground up. It's being unstoppable. So today's story is going to be about Kennedy, the unstoppable Kennedy. Welcome, Kennedy, to Addis Accent.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being my first guest. This is the first podcast.
Yay!
Here in Addis Accent Studio, Calgary, Alberta. Our audience are going to love our conversation today. I am very fortunate to know you and to know what I'm bringing to my audience. So I'm excited, but we're going to start from the beginning. We're going to go back and let's go back to Africa. Let's go to Cameroon, which you are originally from. The African miniature. They call you African miniature. And I was like, what do they call you? African miniatures. Can you say a little bit about how do you guys own Africa? As African, I was a bit offended. I'm not offended, but jealous maybe. That's the right word.
Cameroonians are proud to be called Africa in miniature. Mm-hmm. So we think Cameroon is Africa in one small African country. So miniature is simply like a representation of Africa. Mm-hmm. And the reason we call it Africa in miniature, it's because you will find every part of Africa in Cameroon. Geographically, we have a privilege to have gone from the north, which we have part of the Sahara Desert. So if you're looking for desert life,
yes,
you'll see it in the northern part of Cameroon. When you come down to the middle area, you have the grassland, the Adamawa area, where you get more of the grassland, the zoos, the lions, the everything. So that too is a different geography that gives a different lifestyle and culture. And then when you move south, you get to the equatorial evergreen portion where it's like the Amazon forest and everything. And then we have part of the ocean too.
Yeah.
So it's a country that spans from a desert area to grassland to the forest area to the ocean. And that comes with a whole lot of variety in terms of the people, the culture, the language, and everything. And that's generally Africa, because you have the northern part of Africa that is mostly dry and desert-like. You have the equatorial Africa, and you have the southern Africa. So that's why we call it Africa in miniature.
Cameroon has everything pretty much in one form.
A lot of diversity in one small country.
I know. How diverse is Cameroon? How many
Cameroon
languages
is
are
pretty
spoken there?
diverse. I would say Cameroon has over 230 ethnic groups. It's a small country with a smaller population compared to other African countries. But to have over 230 ethnic groups in such a small country. Now, this is how bad it is. In Cameroon, when you drive, if you drive in a straight line for an hour and 30 minutes, you are in a different culture. For an hour, 30 minutes, you are in a different village with people speaking a different language, eating different foods, they dress differently. So that's how
very diverse.
Complex
Yeah.
and diverse. And all these people have to live and function together as a country.
We have 84 ethnic group, and I thought that was the highest ever.
Yeah, I
And
think you have,
200.
with 84, you have larger communities.
Yes.
Cameroon has over 200 ethnic groups.
How much is the population of Cameroon?
I think right now it's just over 40 million.
40 million
Not that
people.
many,
That's good.
but
All
very
right.
diverse.
Thank you for giving us a beautiful picture of vibrant Cameroon for a person like me that never been there. Now I'm very excited to
Well,
see.
I hope you visit someday.
I think we can say, you can visit the whole Africa by just making a trip to Cameroon? Is that
That's another interpretation of Africa in miniature, which means if you visit Cameroon, you
Yes.
technically would have visited
part
Africa.
of Africa
Yeah.
in different ways? All right, let's bring it to you. What shape of Cameroonian miniature shape your life? Which part of Cameroon did you grow up? Because now I know Cameroon is different.
Yeah, it's not just different in terms of geography and
Yeah.
the culture.
But
In terms of history, Cameroon has a very diverse history. We've had colonial masters from all parts of the world, and that gives it
Really?
the cultural diversity too. We've had Portuguese in Cameroon, we've had Italians in Cameroon, we've had Germans in Cameroon, we've had British and the French.
oh wow,
Right now, Cameroon officially has a French-speaking section and an English-speaking section. And simply because the last colonizers who took over from the Germans were the French and the British, they fought the Germans and they took over Cameroon and literally took a piece of paper and divided it like a piece of meat. Okay, you take this part, I take this
my
part.
God, okay.
So we have the French-speaking side, which is where my parents came from. And we have the English-speaking side, which is the part that I grew up in. So my parents moved to the French-speaking side because of job opportunities. So it's 80% French-speaking and 20% English-speaking, which is more like the opposite of Canada, because Canada has 20% French and 80% English. So I came from the English side, which is the northwest region,
okay,
as Cameroon is divided into 10 regions. Out of these 10, 2 are English speaking and 8 are French speaking. So the 2 English speaking is the northwest and the southwest. I come from the northwest area.
that is exciting. That
Thank
must
you.
that must give you a very depth background. You're very open to so many cultures and language already.
Oh yeah, so
in
many
your home
cultures and
country.
languages, because not only I grew up in a different area of Cameroon,
Yeah.
I had to go to schools in different places, because sometimes back in Cameroon, you don't just go to the school you like, you go to what's available. So if you had to study something in the university, you had to go to the area that had the university that you want to attend. So I went to school in different areas. After that, I worked in different areas and different parts. So I have a pretty much better knowledge about Cameroon as a whole. And talking about languages, like I told you, if you drive for a straight line in Cameroon for an hour, 30 minutes, you're in a different place where they speak a different language. And when you have to work with the locals, you have to speak the language. Many of them don't speak English and French. It's
So-
the 2 official languages, but
Oh, okay.
you have to learn to speak the local. I mean, going to the market, you have to speak the local language. If not, they don't understand it.
Wow. So your brains are wired so differently
I
than
think
most
every
of us.
human's brain is wired. We can all learn complex stuff
Exactly.
if we put ourselves to, or if we have no choice. Sometimes when you don't have a choice, if you go somewhere and people cannot understand your
Exactly.
language and you have to push, you turn to learn faster.
Yeah, especially as a kid. Like if it is part of
Yeah.
who you are, I don't know. If you're thrown there, I think you're gonna pick up. Like my kids
Yeah.
speak, what 4 or 5 languages.
Yeah.
Spanish,
Yeah, we can
French,
speak
English,
so many languages.
Amharic, I know. So, yes. So, how does it feel to come from this kind of very rich, vibrant, multicultural, multilingual country and immigrate to Canada? How does it feel first when you arrive here?
Firstly, my main reason for traveling was to explore. I did not run from war. Cameroon has not had international wars like other countries, or maybe wars with other countries.
Yep.
So I traveled. It was a decision to travel. And the main reason for traveling was to explore the world, to see what else is out there, to give myself more opportunities and potentials. So moving here to me was an achievement. And I think I achieved most of the things I wanted here.
So what was so you didn't face any culture shock, like when you
Yeah, we all have this culture shock. When you go in an environment that is not the same as yours, you get the culture shock. You get the reality. So there's a difference between you studying a country from the internet and doing research on the internet and having the reality on the ground. I would say most of the things I discovered about Canada, I discovered them when I was already here. Back there, what I saw on the internet was what I thought was real. So in terms of culture shock, we all have a lot of stories and those moments where things had to shock our brains a little bit. I've had a lot of stories when it comes to culture shock. Just the food, the people's behaviors, the Canadian smile when you meet each other. And I remember meeting somebody at the elevator and they smiled at me and they did this. And in my head, I was like, what am I supposed to do? Smile back like that or what? Because, I mean, it's a new thing to me. We don't smile like that back home.
Oh, when you greet each other, you don't
can just
smile?
greet each other or maybe just pass if you don't know the person. It's not very customary to give that smile all the time. So to me, it was kind of a new thing here.
For me,
But
it was the eye contact.
the eye contact. Yeah.
Because where I am from, you're supposed to respect other people. You're not supposed to look in the eyes. So when I came here, I was told like you need to make eye contact when you talk to people, and it was I cannot look into people's eyes. I felt like that's disrespectful. And then here in this culture, if you're not looking into the eyes when you're talking,
it's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful,
actually.
and you're lying. I was like, no, I'm not lying. This is the culture. So there's
That's
many...
the meaning
Yeah.
that people attribute to certain ways. So respect in our culture is so different from the meaning of respect here. So you would do the same act back home. It's like kids calling their parents by their names or by their first names. It would be very disrespectful for me to call my dad by his actual first name. When I came here, kids don't just call their parents, they call their grandparents by their real first names, which in my country, you would get a spank or get a beat up just for calling your dad by his real first name. Yeah.
So how old were you when you come to Canada?
Came here at the age of 27.
27. So that's quite an adjustment. You already built yourself. What were you doing in Cameroon before?
In Cameroon, I
coming to
worked
Canada?
as a hospital administrator.
Okay.
So I started off in nursing.
Good.
I had a bachelor's degree in nursing, worked as a nurse, went on to get a master's degree in Spain, then went back to Africa, worked in a hospital. I worked in the units, in the wards, then moved on to be part of hospital management, and decided to pack up and leave and explore the world. And that's how I got here.
Exciting
So
adventure.
fundamentally, I'm a nurse.
You are a nurse.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was your first job in Canada?
First job in Canada. It's always fun when you arrive here. I think the reason I appreciate immigrants very much is because immigrants are people who have the courage, just like you mentioned at the beginning, to pack up life or pack up your whole existence in a suit, in a bag, and leave to go to this place where you have to start everything all over.
Yes.
In many cases, we don't travel with money. Some people travel with money, but most of the time, what you have is a plane ticket and maybe pocket money for the next 1 or 2 months, and that is it. So you're literally resetting your life, starting from zero. And to me, that was the case. I came here, had to put food on the table. I had Cam at that time with the family, so I had to make sure everybody's fed. So I did anything that would put food on the table. So I worked in landscaping. I worked in moving companies. I did some construction, general labor work. And then I started as a healthcare aide because moving from Cameroon to here, I could not work as a nurse. It takes a process to have the license here. So
How come though? Because you said you traveled to Spain to get, so they don't accept. I thought it's only Africans degree because my degree wasn't accepted here. But yours, I thought it's from Spain, from Europe,
Interestingly,
right?
I went to Spain for masters, got the masters, but when I was applying for my nursing registration here,
Okay.
it wasn't accepted because the main certificate, the main degree was the first bachelor's degree. That's what you need to be a registered nurse here.
Oh, I see.
So that took a big turn. I started as a healthcare aide. So I worked in home care, which probably is what inspired me to do what I'm doing today. And then moved on later to have a licensed practical nursing, which is a licensed practical nurse is one step lower than a registered nurse. So I got the licensed practical nursing certification, worked as a licensed practical nurse for about 6 months. And by that time, this thing had changed. because I really invested in learning how to succeed in this country. And I think we'll get to that part later, but that's how I moved. So started doing all the crazy jobs. I mean, crazy, but somebody has to do it. The landscaping, the moving, the general labor work, and then working as a healthcare aide, then a licensed practical nurse, and quitting my job and becoming self-employed for the past 9 years.
Yes, but I want to keep you there for a second, and then I just want you to express, how does it feel? How do you feel? Because I feel like we are somebody else back home, and then as soon as we emigrate to North America, we need to do some stuff, right, in order to survive and also to close the gap in the system.
Yeah.
So from doing your master's degree and from working in the hospital administration, coming and working to be a landscape, to do all the things you go through, and even to become, you're a registered nurse, and above that you're a hospital administrator, but you need to be LPN back to, assistant nurse, right? So how does that feel? How does that clash at that moment in you? And then also what helps you build? I know there's positive and also some sort of.
I see immigration as a huge training opportunity. Firstly, traveling abroad is never easy.
Yep.
For instance, in my case, it took about almost 3 years to get the visa. I don't even want to go into the detail, but I think it was the highest test of patience in my life. Sending documents, hoping, wishing, praying, not knowing what else to do with your life, because any response from the immigration office would change your life completely. So you don't know how to progress with life. Everything is on standstill. So traveling alone to me was a test of patience and also a training. Those moments where we had disappointments, where you're expecting your documents and they send everything back to you, because back in the days, everything was manual. It's not like today you upload everything online, you scan documents. I had to mail documents physically and wait for months, and at some point you get your whole application back because they said you did not put an initial here, and the whole thing gets sent back to you and you have to redo it again. So it was a test of patience for me, a test of malleability. When you travel abroad, you're forced to go into a new lifestyle, a new environment, a new system. And I think being able to adapt to a new system is something that can help you in the future to grow. So I see immigrants as, one, people who have the courage to leave their families and go. Not everybody has that courage to restart things. I have people who live in neighborhoods they don't like, but the idea of going to a newer neighborhood and starting in an unknown area, it's so scary for them. Immigration is a test of patience. If you can go through that patience, you develop the attitude of being patient. The idea of adapting into a new environment, a new culture, and still holding on to what identifies you, that can be a whole new training. So an immigrant to me has that ability, that advantage. I call it the immigrant advantage. And now when you stand in front of the world, being willing to adapt into any situation, your past doesn't hold you very much. Right? When you come here and you cannot fit into that career, you have the opportunity to shape yourself into whatever direction you want.
I would also see it like it's not all negative, right? It's also getting a second chance.
Getting a second chance.
Yeah. To try to explore new opportunities and stuff like that, and to revise and to rethink what happened. So it is beautiful. So then I think the journey is from being LPN to Royal Home Care straight, or did you?
Well, I like to say from being a licensed practical nurse to being an entrepreneur. Because it's not just Royal Home Caregivers, it's Royal Healthcare Staffing.
Yes.
It's the Rise and Shine Network.
I know those.
It's real estate investing.
But which one came first? Where did you start?
Where did I start?
Yeah.
I started by asking the right questions. You see, coming from Africa, I was always fascinated why Africans are poor. I mean, generally. It's not to say every African is poor. I saw poverty firsthand. I lived in it. But I was curious to know why some people work so hard just to end up broke. Because in reality, if working hard was equal to being rich, every African mother would be a millionaire. We know that. They work so hard. I mean, even the guys too. But so I was fascinated. And that's why I wanted to come over here to be exposed to people who are living the better life, richer. Because back there, we see through the screen, through the internet, we think everybody here is rich. So that drove me to want to come here. And when I got here, first I realized not everybody living here is rich. Actually, few of them are rich. And I was curious, why do some people have the easy life, have everything they need, while others work so hard and just end up poor? And that led me to searching. I didn't know where to get the answers. In fact, I Googled. I went on Google and I said, how to become a millionaire in America. I think Google would be the last place to look for such a reliable information, but there was nowhere else I can look for. And I believe that when you truly want answers, when you truly desire things, nature has a way of bringing people or situations to teach you what you want. The thing is, you have to be smart to see the answers that you're searching for.
Okay.
In my case, I met somebody I worked for in home care. I was working as a caregiver. I got sent to take care of this man. He was a rich guy, like really rich, like rich. And I took the chance to ask him, how did you make all this money? How did you succeed? And he told me one thing. He said, if you want to be successful financially, I mean, we're talking about money. If you want to be successful financially, understand and master money, because money is a game. Money was created by people. If you understand, many people work for money, they make money, but they don't know money. They don't understand money. So he said, understand money and have the right mindset. And by mindset, he just meant mental attitude, which means understanding how people function, how you function, and how to bring all this together. So it's like understanding the game. It's like you want to play hockey, you have to know the rules of hockey.
Yeah.
You want to play soccer, you cannot just get on a field and start playing without knowing the rules. So many people play the game of money without knowing money. And so he said, if you can master these two things, you can have all the money you want. But it gets difficult when it comes to mindset, because we're talking about identity, which is a tough thing for people to lose. And sometimes can be very confusing, because if you lose the whole thing about identity, then what's even the point of life? But there's that fine balance between all that. So when I left him,
You can lose your identity.
yeah, and I left him, I had two things in mind: mindset and financial literacy.
Yeah, the shift in mindset, I get
Yeah,
what you're
that
talking
shift.
about, and then you're working on it. But
Yeah.
but losing identity is a bit tricky. for
And
me.
I mean, losing identity is it's embracing a new identity while holding on to the old. And sometimes the old also, I mean, when I say identity, it depends on what maybe you define identity. It's all the habits and the things that have defined you
Yeah,
as a
that,
person.
that is mindset, isn't it?
It's like if we're talking
It's-
about politics, some people identify themselves through politics. I'm a conservative, and he identify, and that's who he is. And he enjoy being stuck there. He doesn't want to try anything. He doesn't want to explore. He sees the world through that lens. So if you had to take that person from there to see it differently,
Okay.
he would have to slowly let go of that political affiliation in order to understand other things. So that's where the tricky part comes when it comes to identity. It's not losing the identity, but it's embracing a new way of being that can get you where you want to go, especially if both of them clash. Because if you're holding on to this and it does not match with where you're
It
going,
doesn't help you build this identity you're
yeah,
trying
that
to build.
compromise,
There's
you
a
have to
clash.
compromise
Yeah.
certain areas. Yeah. So that's the complex part about mindset. I mean, teaching about money, everybody can understand money. The mindset part is really huge, because at some point we have those overlaps in terms of identity, who we are, who we want to become, and the confusion in between.
So for me, what I got from what you were saying is like, you came from Cameroon and get exposed here, and you didn't start building before you build yourself. So when I asked the question, okay, where did you start first? You said, I started from my mindset. I
Yes.
started working on myself. I started investing on me, right?
In fact, when I left that job,
yeah.
I spent a year. I invested a year studying mindset and financial literacy. I registered for courses, I attended seminars, I took trainings, I read books, audios, videos, CDs. I still have a lot of CDs. So it was building me first
Yeah.
and then building the life after.
That is very important. I truly think that's very important because sometimes we try to build something before we fully build our mindset. Because if our mindset is not ready for what we are trying to build, it will just clash, right? So
Yeah, I compare it to a
knowing that
computer and the software, right? The
Exactly.
hardware and the software.
has to be
If you don't work
all
on the
together.
software, you can embellish the hardware as much as you want. It's still a crappy software in there.
What is the most expensive mindset one can have?
The most expensive mindset. Can you put that in another way?
Like, what is the main shift? Like, the main paradigm shift people should have? Like, for me, I always maybe sometimes think like ownership. You know what I mean?
Ownership.
Like, we blame, like, okay, this country, the tax, or the country I came from, my culture, my mom, my dad, my children, you know? So, what it is for me, it's ownership because nobody owes me anything. I don't owe anybody. That is my principle.
And I really like that. It's a
Yeah.
huge part of my teaching. Even in my book, I have that too. I think since you already mentioned that, I would say the most expensive part of that mindset is identity. Right? I believe that at some point you have to make that identity shift, not changing, not losing your identity, but adjusting it, modifying it to match with where you're going.
Yeah.
Like they say, as a man thinketh, so is he. I mean, when they say as a man thinketh, as you think, I mean, if you had to modify that,
Yeah.
it can threaten your existence. It can threaten who you've been. And only people who have the courage to compromise that, because you have to align with the future you want to build. You have to align with where you're going. And that gets so expensive to most people because society has not made it easy. People are already fixed in terms of mindset, in terms of personality. I'm sure you've seen books about personality types.
Yes.
They say you are this personality type, you are this personality type, and people get so attached to these labels. I mean, you've heard your friends say, "You know who I am. This is who I am. I'm not gonna change because of this." So that to me is the most difficult part when it comes to mindset, having that acceptance that we can change and become something else.
Yeah.
And it's not about neglecting who we've been. It's not about saying that our past, our cultures are bad. It's how do I appreciate this, acknowledge it, but be able to convert into a newer person, a better person that aligns better with the future I'm building. And that, first of all, you have to have that acceptance you're
Yes,
talking
yeah.
about. You have to know that your life is a reflection of who you have been, not all the external things we point fingers at. Actually, I have this joke. I tell people that as many people point their fingers in two directions. They say it's you, it's the government, it's this, it's that, it's that. So it's either the finger goes this way or it goes up. No, actually up.
Yeah.
You see, it's either these or it's God.
Oh, okay.
He created me, he's responsible. It's not my responsibility, it's him. So when your finger goes like this or like this, you forget this person.
Yes.
But when you take that ownership, that responsibility, how can I change myself? I tell people God created everything already. Stop bothering him. It's
Yeah.
there. You go get it. It's your job now, right? So it's that shift that gets so expensive for people to pay.
Yeah.
But it's the ultimate price, and
Yeah.
it's worth it.
It does. And I think it's a key for everything. And it's not as easy as we talked about
it's
it.
not
We're
easy.
Working on
It's
one step.
simple,
it's so easy.
but not easy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so easy to work and everybody to tell everybody, but to do that inner work, it's quite a work. But it's the best investment I think one can do for themselves because
Yeah.
I don't think you can invest in anything before you invest in who you are and
Absolutely.
having that paradigm get shifted. You know that that thing. So thank you. That is very huge. My next question is gonna be, what keeps you going, or what keeps you grounded? Like we all do. We push, and then sometimes
What
people
keeps me going
comes back from
and
halfway.
what keeps me grounded? The curiosity to see and know and feel how far I can go in life keeps me going. You know, as a business person, sometimes it's not the achievement of the goal that is so important. It's
Yep.
the pursuit, the challenge to see how much I can get, how far I can go. I've set goals in life. I notice when I set a goal, I achieve it, it quickly becomes boring. You set another goal, and the excitement usually it's in the chasing of that goal. So to me, I want to leave, I want to die someday knowing that I reached my maximum potential. I exhausted all the gifts I came with. I want to die empty. I want to know that I gave everything that came to me to the world. So that keeps me going. I mean, it's not a dollar amount. It's the idea that I want to achieve the best. I want to give myself the opportunity. I mean, just coming here was an achievement. I remember being in Africa and dreaming and praying and hoping to be in Canada someday. But when I got here, I was grateful for being here. Now the next thing, how far can I go? You get there, how far can I go? And that's just how life is until someday you're done from here. So to me, getting up every morning is like, okay, I'm grateful, but what next step? How much can I push? And I think that's just a maybe masculine thing, but
You know, we all, even us, we have the drive. So I like curiosity, or how much I can do.
yeah.
So you're constantly evolving, and you're very aware of it, and you're always excited about it, right? So that's good. So your dream and your curiosity keep pushing you
Yeah.
to be better, and then to
The
keep
dream,
going.
the curiosity, yeah, that's the drive.
If you lose everything today, some fun question here, and start again back to the first day in Canada, what different thing will you do?
If I if I lost everything today, what would I do differently? I would say I would do the same things I've done. I would only do them faster and earlier. For instance, starting a home care business, not hesitating in advertising massively, investing in real estate. I tell young people, the earlier you get into the game, the better for you. Time is a limited factor, right? So I would do the same things. I would only do them earlier and faster. So I
Okay.
would still start a home care business because I think it's a very good business model. It checks most of the boxes because I studied money first and studied mindset. And with that, you're able to analyze businesses and choose what business can get the life that you want and the type of money you want and checks all the boxes. So I did not start a home care business. I studied mindset and business and financial literacy first. And with that knowledge, I was able to pick. So these days, I can easily tell you, I wouldn't want to do this business. I wouldn't want to do this. But I can easily say, if I had enough money, I would do this type of business. So to me, that was a huge contribution.
Okay. So most people might think you're very lucky, and how you know what I mean. Like as immigrant, when we first come here, we came, and then we need to do like any work as you did, right?
Yeah.
And then we got tied up with credit card payments, loans, and the bills doesn't stop, and people don't have the luxury of taking time to try new different things, or do this. So they keep working hard, and then nothing comes after decades or a couple of decades of hard work and everything. So what I want to say is, it's not that we don't have the time, but we talked about it's a mindset. But when did you realize it's not hard work? When did you realize money is a game? And for those people that are in this loop and stuck and they don't know the way out, how do they get like a crush little soft bite here? What will you drop for them? Because you went through it, and what shift needs to happen, or what is the way out?
Okay, I'm not just a motivational speaker. I wouldn't say go do this, or I wouldn't just encourage somebody to do something. When I learned all these things, I made a decision to test it for myself first. I wanted to see if it works. I wouldn't tell somebody what doesn't work. So I started teaching financial literacy and a mindset shift only when I had become, one, financially free, and at a financial level where probably the top 5% exist, right? And that's when I decided. So the person who taught me, my elderly client, he said, go and test it. If it works for you, you can teach other people, but test it first. So I had to test it. For people who are still stuck or not knowing where to start, I would say, first, look around. Have proof that somebody who is just as you, or maybe lower in terms of potential, has achieved it. That is already proof that you can too.
Yep.
And the next thing, because once your mind has accepted and is convinced, then you will have the willingness to learn, to change, to adapt, and to try new things. But if you are still not sure that you can, you will not. So believing, and to believe, sometimes you need physical proof. To me, I saw a lot of people who were dumber than me, obviously not as smart as I was, but succeeded financially. And I was like, if these people, as they are, can get to this financial level, I should be able to. I mean, just being normal physically, having two legs and can walk, it's a privilege we have. But other people don't even have that privilege and still make it. So to me, that was a conviction. You have to be convinced first. Look for physical proof that you can if you try. And once your mind is convinced, you'll get the courage, you'll get the energy to take on that journey.
What did your mentor give you? You said he gave me something and then he said, go try. Or
Yeah, he
What
gave
was
me
that?
financial literacy and a mindset shift.
book or lecture?
Yeah, like I worked for him. He was an elderly person.
Yes.
I was his caregiver. So we would have moments where I sit with him and I said, JC, how did you make all this money? Because I opened his bank statements. Like when you're a caregiver, you know every detail about
them,
a
yeah.
family or somebody. So I would take his mails, I open, and this guy, there were days where I opened his bank statement and he has $26 million sitting in his bank account. And he had donations, he offered money to people. And I was like, this man is almost dying and has $26 million sitting somewhere. I need to learn from him. And that's the humility that comes from learning from people, going to people, asking for things that you want. Many people are too proud to learn. They think they already know. So the two things he gave me was where if you can understand money as a game, because people created money. Money was not divinely created. The financial system was created by people, money itself. You have to know the rules of the game first and then develop the right mindset of somebody who can win. When you combine these two, you become unstoppable.
What's the rules of money?
If I were to teach the rules of money here, it would be a
gonna be-
whole class. But knowing money at its core.
Okay.
I mean, if you ask the average adult, I mean, let's just talk about the CRA in Canada. What's the CRA? Many people don't know it. Many people even think it's part of the government. Many people know it's the government.
Yeah.
If you ask what's the banking system in Canada? How does this money work? When you put your money in a bank account, how does it go from there? Many people don't have the time to know that. They don't even care. They work, pay bills, save a little bit of money, down payment, buy a house, have a family, get another job, you lose a job, your partners. That's what most people are preoccupied with. So when I mean knowing money, is going to the core, understanding money, the real understanding that the banks won't teach you, the government won't teach you, the schools won't teach you.
All
Once
right.
you know that, you have a leverage, you have an advantage.
I know you will recommend one of your books, Pathway to Prosperity would be one. Is there a couple other book that will help us understand money? I know this book is not all about money, but
Yeah, when I wrote this book, Pathway to Prosperity, it was my own way of giving all that God had given to me to other people. I don't want to hold things. I don't want to stay on things. I believe that money makes sense when you use it. Just like knowledge. When knowledge comes to you, pass it on to other people. That's why I wrote this book. I called it Pathway to Prosperity. I know to some people it sounds so crazy as a title, but it's teaching the fundamentals of money. I would love to recommend another book, but this was a synthesis of so many books I read, a collection of all the fine things that I read from other books, and I put here. So you would see me quoting different books here. And it's such a synthesis. It's like a concentration. I did not want to write a Bible. I come from Africa. In Africa, we say if you want to hide something from an African, just put it in a book. They'll never touch it. So I wanted a book, something that is small, straight to the point, and that can initiate people. Because when you read this book, I talk about mindset. Well, I quote some things there. But if that triggers you, you can now go and read other things. I mean, these days, information is everywhere. With ChatGPT, with AI, a lot of free audiobooks. This, to me, is an initiation to get on a path of mindset shift and then understanding money. So I would still recommend this as a beginning. And when we talk about mindset, there's levels to these things. You go level by level. Somebody needs to be at this level, understand that level, then move to the next level. It's like awareness. Awareness goes in stages.
Yeah, we build it too. So I think for you the shift is understanding money is a game. Money is not a bill. Money is a game.
Money,
like for majority
money
of us,
is a
right?
game because the idea of money, the banking system,
Yeah.
the printing, the creation of money is done by people. And this thing has rules and things that you need to understand before you can override, before you can play in it to win for yourself. The banking system was not designed to make you rich.
Okay.
But people sometimes believe in the banks. But that does not mean that you cannot work with the bank. So it's working with the existing system so that you can put the odds of you winning higher. That's the whole point of
So make it
financial
work for
literacy.
your,
Make it work for your benefit.
advantage.
The taxation system, the banking system, the administration system, all these things, in most cases, they're not designed to make you thrive financially.
True.
But you don't have to. I tell people, I'm not here to change the system. I'm here to teach you how to thrive in the system.
Yeah.
And thriving in a way that doesn't deprive somebody from thriving too.
Yes.
We can all grow. I say there's room at the top for everybody.
But we learn everything. We don't learn money and walls at school. Everywhere in the world, I notice even in Canada, we don't learn how to be financially successful or financially independent or even becoming wealthy. Why is this knowledge hidden, you think it is? Is it just because it's for fewer, or is it for people that are sick into it and then it requires that personal discipline and stuff?
Yeah, I asked that question too. Why is financial literacy, why is wealth building not taught in school? Because I've been around the world. I've studied school programs. There is not a single school program that teaches money in its real sense and teaches wealth building. Even the people who study finance and banking, they teach them to go work in the institutions. I think one of the main reasons is for control. The government needs to control its people. And to the government, a person who's financially free and has a lot of money is seen as a threat to the government, because you cannot control that person. And if a country wants to exist as an entity, you need some form of control. So it's a good thing for the government too to be able to control, rather than everybody doing what they want. And to be able to control the people, you have to put things in place. You have to put some belief system, put some teaching, some ways that will keep people. So one is a way of control, and number two, I think it gives the excitement of searching for it. You see, it's like you can put something in a book, but not make it obvious to your child that it's there, and let the child look for it. You see, if wealth building, if money, being rich and successful was so common, and everybody could just become it, it wouldn't have the value and the excitement. Because as humans, when we struggle for things, we enjoy it more. So I think the fact that it's not taught in school is also a good thing, so that the few who are curious, who can take decisions, who can take risks and achieve it, they get fulfillment.
True.
And I think as humans, fulfillment, respect, feeling proud
Yep.
is something that we cannot underlook. So it gives value to the idea of being successful. And again, when I say successful, it's not about the dollar amount. I believe in financial freedom because I think we are all different. We have things we want to do. Jeremy probably enjoys photography and videography. He would love to spend his time doing it. But when you have that, the need of money, it can compromise the passion we have. You see, being financially free does not mean being rich. It just means being at a point in life where you do what fulfills you, what you love. Somebody would like to be in the mountains, living a minimalist life, enjoying nature. Somebody wants to be in a 5-star city hotel and having all the luxury.
Yeah.
If that person
It's
who
personality.
wants to live out in nature can live that life,
Yep.
he is just as successful as the person living in a mansion in a big city. So it's about living a life your own way. But I noticed that the idea of money often deprive people from living the life they want to live. That's how I went into
We
money.
were having this conversation before the podcast too, but you cannot, like, we say that, but you cannot do those things. You cannot do what you love if you don't have money too, right? So
Yeah.
money is a tool, I think most people say. So I say it that way. So we directly or indirectly, we need money.
Yeah.
So it's not that sometimes it might make you happy and then you might not earn money.
And
through
the
its
process
right
of
away, but-
acquiring money sometimes might not involve the things that you're passionate about. You could set up a system, a business, but if that system can give you the financial freedom you want, so you can go do what you want, to me, I think it's worth it.
True.
So
yeah.
in the process of businesses, you might not. I mean, I don't have a particular passion for houses, for real estate. It's not like I'm in love with houses. No, you must not do the things that you're passionate about when it comes to becoming financially free. But the idea of becoming financially free will permit you to go and do the things that you're passionate about. That thing might not even generate money, but if it can generate money, that's even a plus.
True. Okay. You brought Royal. How would you call it? Royal Real Estates, right? So you have Royal Home Care.
I have Royal Home Caregivers. It's a
Yes,
home
and
health care companies. We provide home care services to seniors and the disabled. I have Royal Healthcare Staffing.
Healthcare staffing.
We
Yes.
provide staffing, emergency or temporary staffing to seniors care facilities. I created the Rise and Shine movement to teach financial literacy and a mindset shift.
Yes.
Through the Rise and Shine movement, I have the online platform called the Rise and Shine University, which is an online platform where people can learn financial literacy. And again, I have to repeat to people that I'm not connected with any other company. Because sometimes when people come financial, I've had people call me online, oh, those financial literacy guys, or those finance guys. Because when somebody talks about finance, it's always connected to some insurance or
Bank
some
or-
network
yep.
marketing company trying to recruit. I don't do any of that. I'm not saying they're not good.
Yes.
But I
yeah.
simply try to tell people, I don't teach financial literacy because I want to recruit you. I want you to succeed with your own money. And so I created the Rise and Shine University for that. And after that, I mean, I invest in real estate. I've got a real estate portfolio. I've had opportunities like inviting people to invest in my real estate portfolio and things. So it's just me sharing all the things that came to me. The home care business came to me. I did it. I created a program to teach other people how to do the same business. The real estate came to me. I did it. I created an opportunity for people to learn, either invest by themselves or invest with me. And I find pleasure being a vessel.
You
passing
really
on.
listened to your mentors so well.
Sorry?
You really listened to your mentor so well. He said, master this and then teach it.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly
Yeah, he
what
said,
you have been
he said,
doing.
study this,
Yeah.
test it first.
Yes.
And when you're convinced that it works, you can teach other people.
How do you think, like, how important is mentor in life?
It's very important. Having a mentor is essential. It's like having a coach and a team. A team can have people who play so well, but a coach is really vital to a team's success. So being able to recognize that you need to learn and you cannot always see things clearly from your perspective. You need that second perspective from a mentor, from a coach, and that can make a whole difference.
Excellent. It has been a very fascinating journey. So let's just talk a little bit about Rise and Shine conference because that's how I met you.
Yeah, the Rise and Shine conference.
I know, and I loved it so much. I remember,
Thank you.
yeah, I was like feeling so hungry. Like the conference was all day, like starting from morning to afternoons. But I think when I left, it was dark. But I was like, it's not enough. And I reached out to you. I said, Kennedy, when are you gonna do this more? When are you gonna, give us more? It touched so many things. All I remember was you know how you open on your laptops or computers, you open Windows and then left us. That's how I felt. I felt like it's not that it wasn't informative, but there was a lot of aha moments. I was like, my eyes were open. And once you start seeing, you want to know, right?
Yeah.
I had tons of questions. And thankfully, we became friends. And I think you answered not all of them yet, but, maybe half of my questions. I appreciate that. But I really want you to tell us about Rise and Shine because it was a free conference. So my question to you is, I see you also as a friend now. You give so much to others. You like to give back to the community and helping others and always inspiring others to be better than themselves, who they are yesterday. So what inspires you to help others? Is it because of your past, or is it because that who you are, or because you're giving back?
Let's start with the Rise and Shine conference. You asked about the Rise and Shine conference. So the Rise and Shine conference to me was one of the tools or the channels I'm using to pass the knowledge that I have to people. It's like writing the book. The book is just one way of passing that knowledge. I've given out hundreds of books for free. Now, the Rise and Shine conference was a little tricky because there's been no conference like that. Every conference you go that teaches financial literacy and a mindset shift, they have a plan and agenda somewhere. They have to sell you something. In fact, I had people who came after the conference and asked me, what was the point? What did you sell? Now, when it comes to teaching and giving, there is a tricky part with giving because giving has to be an interaction. It has to be a transaction.
Yeah.
Generally, in life, when you give, something has to be given back. And in business, when you give for free, it doesn't make sense. According to the laws of money, something has to be exchanged. Now, when I organized the conference, I knew that organizing a conference and making it 100% free would go against the idea of transactions. But it was such a new concept that if I asked people to buy tickets, many people would think that I wanted to make money from it. So I consciously made the Rise and Shine conference 100% free just because I wanted to initiate people to the idea of mindset shift and financial literacy. For them to know that thing I've been looking for, because everybody wants more money. Everybody wants to have freedom in their life in terms of financial freedom. Everybody. If you don't want more money and you don't want to be financially free, I seriously think there is something wrong with you. You get it? So I'd made it free, but the goal was not to make it free continuously because it would not bring the value. When you give something for free, the value does not accompany. When people struggle, just like I was saying, if being financially successful, if being rich was so easy, it would not have the pride and the value that it has now. I did it for free because I wanted to initiate people, but I knew that eventually they would have to give something in exchange without feeling like they are being sold to. So that was the whole point of the Rise and Shine conference. I organized 4 so far. For each conference, I spent about $10,000, but I was happy to do that. It was my own way of giving back to people. And also, I believe that, the people who taught me at the initial stages, I think I was lucky to have met the right people. You can make money exploiting people. You can make money extorting people. You can make money doing all the bad things. But I was lucky to meet the right people who taught me, firstly, the notion of abundance. There is enough for every person. As humans, we only compete and fight for things because we think of scarcity. Scarcity is a notion that is introduced by greedy human beings. So I believe in abundance. So if I can share all the knowledge I have, all the businesses I do, it does not reduce my own part of the equation. That's why I teach. That's why I feel free passing over to other people. We can all have it. Money is unlimited. Everybody can have $10 million in a bank account and there will still be money to create. In the past, money had to be printed. So there was a limitation. These days, money is not printed. So you can literally create an infinite amount of money if you know how money works. So that's why I created the Rise and Shine conference. That's why I wrote the book, and I that's why I teach how to start a home care business. Yes, they have to pay me, but it's for the time I spend. Remember, I have one of my favorite quotes. It says, give a man fish and he will be hungry tomorrow. Teach a man how to fish and he will be rich for the rest of his life. So I prefer in passing knowledge rather than giving out money.
Okay.
I was not given money. I was given the knowledge, and I used the knowledge to create the money that I have.
Tell us a little bit about Rise and Shine University.
Rise and Shine University is just an extension of the Rise and Shine conference. It's an online platform. It's www.riseandshine.university. Riseandshine.university, not .com. I bought a whole domain name for that. So it's a platform just like every other school platform you see. When people go online, they can see a little bit about me. I personally recorded all the knowledge I wanted to share. So when somebody signs up, they have a login and a password. And then you go under each section, you would see videos of me teaching financial literacy and a mindset shift. So that's just it, to teach financial literacy and a mindset shift. And all the conferences I've done so far, I get them recorded and I upload them on the Rise and Shine University. So students who are enrolled on the Rise and Shine University, they don't just take my classes, they also have the opportunity to watch all the conferences that I have organized. So it's a robust platform. It's more like some of the schools we see here.
Excellent, Kennedy. We barely scratched the floor knowing you, and I'm sure we're gonna have another session again sometime soon when you have time.
Absolutely.
But it was delightful to have you here today, and I always looking forward to meet you because we all love to have meaningful conversation. Always ding dong my head and give me homework when I leave. I have a lot to do, but I like that about you, and thank you. And I truly believe our audience are getting so many breadcrumbs today everywhere from you as well, and they will check you out and follow you on the social medias as well. We'll put your social media link down there if anybody wants to do. And then if you like the podcast we had today, please share it with your family, friends, because sometimes you just need one story to move forward and then to become a better person or to build yourself from where we are. Until we meet next time, we're gonna end up today's session. I know it is short, but see you in the next chapter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me here, and it's a beautiful collaboration between Rise and Shine and Addicts Accent. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.